was 50 years ago that William M. Holland Sr.'s fight for equality became a reality, as the Palm Beach public school system became fully integrated, starting with Northboro Elementary School.
The education received by my daughter at Northboro has been very beneficial. It has allowed her in her early years to be embraced in a diverse environment. Northboro Elementary itself is very diverse. Children come from all backgrounds and walks of life, that she's been able to interact with children who don't necessarily look like her, but are representative of the entire Palm Beach County community. Being the school board member for the Northboro Elementary community is very humbling. It's invigorating though as well, because we know the legacy that was created by the good brother Holland. My youngest, Abby, is there, and it's just a great environment in which to learn. The teachers are really engaged in educating the students. The students want to be there, and it's just a very competitive and a positive sense environment for any young child.
Holland's dedication to a better future directly impacts many of us, and we continue to see the results of his hard work.
Look at Northboro. I think it represents some of the best achievements we've made with regard to education. It's a Montessori school, and we have children from all different backgrounds, from children who are the ancestors of the Inca people coming from Guatemala, speaking another language. And I think we're fortunate to have a school like Northboro.
When William Holland brought his lawsuit, it was 2 years after the Brown versus Board of Education decision in 1954. And still, 2 years later, the schools in Palm Beach County were not integrated.
Billy Holland is what we called him, William Holland Jr. He was the child that was used to integrate Northboro Elementary. And he represents a lot of children across this country who really were the tip of the spear for what was a major humanitarian issue.
William Holland Jr. was just 6 years old in 1956. My son is 7, pretty much the same age. And so it isn't lost on me that William Holland, when he walked his child into the school, that Northboro said to him that his child could not attend that school because he's African American and because he's a Black child. And I understand fully what it meant for William Holland to bring his lawsuit so that my child today can attend that school.
It's one thing to walk a trail that's been created, and it's such another thing to be a person who has created the trail. And so his sacrifice it continues, and I hope he would be proud of the progress that's been made.
Diversity in our schools, and actually I would say diversity coupled with equity, because you can't have one without the other. But if you have diversity and equity in our school system, what you do is you help ensure that our children have access to all the resources they need to be their best selves.
We each can do our part to ensure that our efforts to bring about positive change will have a lasting impact.
I am just so honored that I am the principal of Northboro, which 4 years before I was born was a segregated school. So it was a school that didn't allow my population of students that I have now. Not to mention, I wouldn't be able to have that right or that privilege to be principal here at Northboro. So I am so elated and grateful for the work and the efforts of William Holland Sr. and his fight for our equality, for integration in Palm Beach County schools.
Things have come full circle that I'm a lawyer who's leading the Bar Association that Mr. Holland himself founded, and my daughter benefits from Mr. Holland's fight for equal educational access.
We are grateful for all those who came before us and paved the way to a better future. And now we present to you some special remarks from our special guests.
I boarded the Atlantic Coastline Railroad at DeLand, Florida, And on that train heading to Tallahassee was Bill Holland. I met him first right there at DeLand Junction, as we called it. We went to Jacksonville, transferred over to Seaboard Railroad, and went to Tallahassee. It was at Tallahassee that we ended up being in the very same classes, and we began to know each other very, very well. We had to go out of the state of Florida in order to go to law school.
Bill Holland was the very first African-American black lawyer who started practicing here in Palm Beach County. And that was in 1953, in February of 1953.
West Palm Beach was possibly the most segregated city in the state of Florida. At least it was the most segregated one that I had lived in or had any knowledge of. Because, for example, blacks has a area in which they were allowed to live, to work, and to have businesses. There was a ordinance in the city of West Palm Beach that was passed some years ago, which established the lines of demarcation or the area in where black people could live or to have businesses. And the same thing that also applied to white people having business in the black community. So that was quite a limitation. I knew that the only way that this was going to change, you had to do it through the courts.
We tried with the school system to get some of our black friends to allow us to use them and their child to try the school system out to see whether or not they would accept a black person into school. People shook their head, and I knew the reason why. They did not wish to lose their job, working in the kitchen, washing the clothes, or what have you. So I asked Bill, what are we going to do about it? And he said, I have my son Billy. Billy was going up to be 6 years old at the time. He's 5 years something. He said, I will use him. And he did.
We went to the school, this was Northboro Elementary School in West Palm Beach, to be allowed to be enter the school and become a student there. And we were denied the right to do so. And that gave us the case and conflict that we needed to go into federal court.
Holland built a new home in there on 17th Street. And what the school board did was to gerrymander the line. Instead of it going down 17th Street, down the middle of the street, they took, when they got to his property line, went south to the alleyway and went around his house and then back out into the street.
I just want the people to appreciate what we've done, and I mean we, and I mean it's a big bell with a lot of people, and just not thank us, because I don't care about being thankful, but just grasp the opportunities, grasp what we were doing is making the battlefield even, so that at least you have an opportunity to use your mind, you know, and grasp the opportunities that have been open to you. You see, a lot of time we don't do that. We just want to make life easier for them, but we don't want them to feel that things have to be handed to them. They have to earn it, and let's have an equal opportunity. That's the most important thing.